I mean, is this it? Is this the end of Tush Push Gate? Are we finally going to push this one over?
I mean, I think they're going to vote something through, Susie. I think the league office, the commissioner wanted out. Now, I think what's interesting about it is that really there's two trains of thought. There's the league office's train of thought, and then there's the other team's train of thought. And the league office's train of thought on this has generally been it's a dangerous play. And Howie Roseman kind of fought back against that at the league meeting where, he stood up and said, well, show me the injury data. I'm all for player safety. Show me where the data is. And there wasn't data, but what Dr. Alan Sills, the NFL's chief medical officer, said at the time was because of the posture of the quarterback and the way the play is run, if something does happen, it's going to be catastrophic. So that's the league's concern. Then you have the other teams saying, well, this isn't even a football play. This is a rugby play. And I think when there's like that inconsistency there, that's why the Eagles feel targeted. They feel like different people are coming up with different reasons to take something that they're really good at out of the game. And so, I think part of the effort over the last 2 months has been to make sure this isn't strictly about the Eagles. And the wording of the rule proposal in March was very narrow. The revision, which the Packers submitted to the league yesterday, is much broader, and it goes back to a rule in 2004 where all pushing and pulling of a teammate was prohibited. So that's what that's what they're going to discuss today or tomorrow when they talk about the Football Matters tomorrow. And my guess is they find a way to get something through. Now I don't know if it'll be this specific rule, but they were at 16-16. Now they've revised it. They need to get to 24. I think it'll be close, but I think they're going to get something through.
So then what happens? I mean, can they take this? Does that mean that it's out 100% if it goes through? Does that mean that the Eagles can finesse and change things around? Like, what's it mean?
I mean, I would actually tell you, Susie, like go back and look at a lot of those plays. The Eagles are so good at it. A lot of times Jalen Hurts is over the line before his teammates even get behind him. So, I don't know that the Eagles need that actual extra momentum that the teammates behind him give him to pick up the first down in these situations because they're so good on the front end with the linemen and with Jalen Hurts doing what they do. It just sort of feels to me like this could even, it's unintentional by the other teams, but I don't think it's impossible that this creates a bigger advantage for them because they don't need that momentum on the back end, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I think the way you legislate is another question. Are you going to turn this into a penalty? One idea that I've heard that's a little different than that is just giving the ref the ability to blow a play dead when he sees the pushing start, sort of like forward progress works. So it's hard to believe, again, how much time we spent talking about this and how tangled up the whole thing has become. And again, we'll see if they can untangle that and come up with something simple they can vote through tomorrow.
Where do the lines divide? Like, who votes against, who votes for in that room?
I would say this one in particular was a little random. But it's interesting, like a lot of the teams from that Shanahan tree were the ones that were more vocal against it. I think you saw Sean McVay come out and say something. Obviously, the Packers are in that tree with Matt LaFleur, the coach there, and they're the ones that submitted the proposal. And I've heard the theory that maybe it was best if the Packers submit the proposal because they don't have an owner, so it doesn't look like there's some owner that has a what across his about the Eagles doing this.
No, I don't know what you're saying. A what? A what? A what?
Well, can I leave that there, Susie?
Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
But yeah, I think there's a bigger strategy, a way that the teams that want it out have approached this. So happens that some of those teams are in the NFC. Whether or not you want to see that as a coincidence or not is sort of up to you. And then I think there are other teams that look at this and say, we don't want to create the precedent where one team gets really good at something and now all of a sudden we're looking to remove it from the game. Like I can think all the way back to 20 years ago when this happened with the Patriots, and Bill Belichick's strategy against the Colts was to manhandle the receivers. And it led to, Bill Polian, who was on the competition committee, pushing some change there. And, I know there were people back then that thought that was a bad precedent, that like just because someone's really good at something, now there's going to be a rules emphasis to try to change it. And the teams that are against doing this, against a ban going in, I think that's a big part of their logic is, and it'd be my logic too, quite honestly, like it's just because someone has gotten so good at something that it's almost unstoppable should not be a reason to go in and change the rules on the NFL.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.